And we are back with the fourth segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this fourth segment, we are going to be talking about the top players in the NBA. Again, we left off at number 19 with Jamal Murray. So now we're going to go on and continue with this list at number 20. And we'll start off with naming another underrated player, in my opinion, Domantas Sabonis. And it's kind of ironic that I call him underrated because he was 8th in the running in MVP last season. But get this, he wasn't selected for the All-Star, which is unbelievable. He is ranked 8th in the MVP voting once the season concluded. And he did not get selected to be in the All-Star game, which is criminal. And the numbers that he averaged last season, they're very good. He averaged 19, led the league in rebounds, and was also able to average 8 assists as well, and was also able to shoot 59% from the field, shot 37% from 3. Essentially, Domantas Sabonis is just a shorter, weaker Jokic. If you like less offensive, I can't even say less offensive, but less impactful Jokic. Let's just put it that way because, I mean, yes, Sabonis' numbers, they are incredibly impactful, 19, 13, and 8, but Jokic, he averaged like 25, 12, and almost 9. So it's like Jokic clearly had the better numbers, and Jokic ended up winning the MVP. So I'm not saying that Sabonis doesn't bring value, but I'm saying that he brings a little less value than Jokic. But it's like, I mean, again, like it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I would love to have somebody average 19, 13, and 8 on my team. Like, please. And obviously, you know, I would rather have Jokic, but Sabonis is still a pretty good option. And I was debating on putting him over Jamal, but for the fact that I haven't really seen much of Sabonis, like, have a lot of success in the postseason, I don't really want to put him, you know, so high, you know? But that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Next player on this list is going to be Jaylen Brown. Now, Jaylen Brown, he's 21st, and I mean, the biggest reason why he's on this list and so high is because of his Eastern Conference Finals MVP and his Finals MVP that he was able to win for the Boston Celtics. Now, the Finals MVP might not have been one of the more impressive Finals MVPs that we've seen in previous years, but it is still a Finals MVP, and he was still considered the best player on the team. And winning the Finals MVP and the Eastern Conference Finals MVP over Jason Tatum, who was widely considered as the best player on the team, goes to show you just how much talent Jaylen Brown actually has and the value that Jaylen Brown legitimately brings. Because of the two, you wouldn't have thought that Jaylen Brown would be the one that actually ended up getting another trophy, actually 2 more trophies, than somebody like Jason Tatum. Like, you would think that Jason Tatum would win the Eastern Conference Finals MVP or Finals MVP, but no, it was Jaylen Brown. And throughout his entire career, Jaylen Brown has done nothing but get better and better and better. And I sort of think he deserves a spot on this top 25 list, and he should be up there in like at least he should be there in at least 25. And I put him at 21 because of the recent performances and the recent season. Now, next player that I have on this list is Ja Morant. Actually, wait, no. Revoke that. Next player that I have on this list is actually Trae Young. And the reason why I flipped it like almost immediately is because I realized that while Ja Morant, you know, he's been a phenomenal player and he does have a Rookie of the Year accolade under his belt. And while Trae Young doesn't really have many accolades to say that he has, I do also think that Trae Young is one of the more underrated guards in this league. Like, his consistency throughout every season is a little bit a little bit underrated. And I'm only talking about the offensive side of the ball because I think that, he's been a 25 point per game, 9.5 plus assist average player in every single season aside from his rookie year. And I think that deserves way more praise than Ja Morant. And so that's why I put Trae Young higher than Ja Morant. But I'm going to put Ja Morant directly after Trae Young on this list. So we'd have 21 Jaylen Brown, then we have 22 as Trae Young, and then 23 as Ja Morant. Now, again, Jaylen Brown, he has the defense, which gives him an edge from both Ja and Trae Young. Trae Young has a lot more consistency, and he was there last season, aside from Ja Morant, which is the big reason why he's getting the nod over Ja, because Trae Young was there in the season. Now, while the Hawks weren't exactly, the best team, they were a mid-tier team. They were still a I can't really say, they were still a better team than the Memphis Grizzlies. That's all I can really say about them because they were just meh. But Trae Young wasn't just meh. Now, Trae Young, he did have a little bit of an injury throughout that season. Same thing with Ja. But I would rather have Trae Young's consistency. That's just my opinion. And for Ja Morant, again, I don't know. Something about Ja might just rub me the wrong way. Maybe that's what it is, but I'm just not I'm not a big fan of that. But next player on this list is Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people were saying that Tyrese was better than Trae Young last season. I completely disagree with that. One ridiculous season is not enough to be able to justify several years of consistency. So, again, the reason why he's on this list is because of, just how ridiculous his season actually was and how much impact he actually, and, his playoff performance and taking the Pacers all the way over to the conference finals, something that I did not expect. Now, obviously, I'm going to take points off of the conference finals appearance, mainly because the how should I say, the teams that they were up against were riddled with injuries. So I think that was a little bit, a bit of an asterisk on there, just a little bit of an asterisk on there, but still making it all the way to that end of the postseason is still rather impressive. And not to mention, they also did a mid-season trade to get Pascal over to the Indiana Pacers, and that ended up working out phenomenally for the team. And the team was able to adjust to Pascal, and Pascal was able to adjust as well with the team, and they were able to make it pretty far. So I think that should also be able, the chemistry that he's able to have with new teammates and the ability that he has and in being an unselfish player should not get unnoticed. And again, another reason why he's pretty high on this list, he won a gold medal. Now, I know it's a little bit of a participation award on his part, but still, that's a gold medal. So, excuse me, we have the final player on this list. And it was honestly, really tough choosing who number 25 was going to be, the last player on the top 25. But I went with my gut. I wanted to say Paul George, but like I said before, went with my gut, and I said Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is at least the 25th best player in the NBA right now, just based off of what Jalen Brunson was able to do in the postseason, what he's been able to do on the Knicks, the fact that he's been able to turn the Knicks into a team that captures wins is great. And I think that is something that shouldn't get unnoticed, But it will get. I think it will get unnoticed eventually. But still, I think that this is phenomenal. And I would have, again, it was between him and Paul George, because I do think that Paul George has a much better all-around game than Jalen Brunson, and I do think that Paul George is a vastly better defender than Jalen Brunson. But the impact that Brunson has had with this Knicks team is ridiculous, and a lot of it is because of his ridiculous ability to score the ball. And not only that, he was close to breaking one of Wilt Chamberlain's scoring records in the postseason, and it was really, really close. I believe he tied Jordan at one point with that scoring record, because there was a streak where he was getting like 40 points in every single postseason game, and that hadn't been done until Michael Jordan. And it was ridiculous. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. And I have to put him there. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Would you rather have put Paul George in that spot instead? Because I'm open for either or, honestly. And with that out of the way, we are going to cap off that segment, and we are going to go ahead and go into the final segment, which is going to be talking about an NBA player who I feel like did not deserve to win an MVP, in this specific regular season. So I'll be right back after this short break with my list. Well, not really my list, but with my answer. So also, I should say that the year is 1970. So if you want to figure out who won the MVP in 1970, go right ahead before you figure out who I'm going to talk about in the next segment. So I'll be right back.